The sun's just risen, the dawn chorus has started. 6 a.m. it may be, but it's time to leap out of bed and enjoy the best part of the day. In my case, forget it. The blinds stay shut, my eye mask stays on, and I sleep for another 2 hours, or ideally more. I'm what's known as an owl, not a lark, which sadly is not great news for me, as scientific research into people who love late nights and hate early mornings makes for rather grim reading. It turns out we have higher rates of depression, anxiety, diabetes, cancer and heart disease. We're more likely to be unemployed and less likely to get married too. And it goes on. Recent research from the University of Malaga shows that owls are more likely to suppress their emotions. And a new study which followed 12,000 Finnish children since their birth in 1966 shows the owls among them are twice as likely as the larks to underperform at work or to have to retire early due to disability. One reason for all this is that society does tend to be structured around early starts, which can leave the owls suffering from chronic sleep deprivation if they can't get to bed early enough to get a full night's sleep. While the lucky larks experience a massive spike in the stress hormone cortisol, which helps them cope with the shock of waking up, owls don't get their chemical boost until later. The sleep researcher Matthew Walker describes this nicely. Getting up early for an owl is like a cold engine after an early morning start. It takes a long time before it warms up to operating temperature. So given all this, who'd be an owl? Well, there are a few advantages. Owls perform better as the day goes on, so they're less likely to get that post-lunch dip in energy levels. On average, evening types tend to be more open to new ideas, more likely to seek novelty, and to be extroverted, which can bring its own benefits. All of which might not be great for health, but maybe the owls have more fun, who knows? But maybe us late types just need to learn to get up a bit earlier. Alas, researchers at the University of Surrey have found our fondness for mornings or evenings, known as our chronotype, is to a large extent genetic. So for owls, getting up early is to fight against your own body. Parents of small children are forced to rise early, but soon revert to their natural sleep patterns if they get the chance. But there is something the evening types can do. Although their chronotype can put them at higher risk of ill health, it's not at all inevitable. By deliberately staying healthy, exercising and eating well and not drinking more alcohol just because you're staying late at the party, you can reduce your risk of illness. And here's the really good news. Although most people have a sense of whether they are a lark or an owl, it's a myth that most of us are strictly either one or the other. We may lean slightly in one direction, but studies reveal that only about 20% of adults are true larks, roughly 20% are true owls, and a whopping 60% of people fall in between. So it probably is the case that it's better, or at least healthier, to be a lark rather than an owl, but most people get the best of both worlds.